Welcome all. Today's vinyasa flow is going to be a grounding flow. We're going to work on grounding the body, steadying the breath, and bringing our mind through those two tools to the present moment. So when in this fast-paced world we live in, we tend to have our head in many places at the same time, and even our body might feel the effect of that. So through these tools of yoga, bringing the body, connecting through the ground physically, as well as mentally bringing the awareness to the breath, we're going to use those tools to steady the mind and bring ourselves to the present. So we're going to start in a child's pose, folding over. Arms next to our torso, so becoming as small as possible and just kind of bringing everything in. As we begin to bring the awareness to the breath. With the exhale, feeling the contact of the body with the ground. And continue a deep breath in and out through the nose. We're going to lengthen our arms forward, coming into an active child's pose. So we're going to press the hands against the mat as we broaden the upper back. We're going to lift the palms of the hands, rotate them to look up. Feeling as the forearms are lifting, the upper back is engaged, and the sits bones are directed towards the heels. The forearms are almost as if they wanted to go towards the front of the mat. Without moving anything, we're going to place our hands back onto the mat, pressing all knuckles against the mat, placing our toes onto the mat, lifting the hips. We're going to come into our first down dog. The upper body stays the same. Taking a minute or so to slowly and with awareness move as your body pleases. So maybe lengthening the backs of the legs or stretching the sides of the body. Feeling as the hands ground against the mat, creating length through the crown of the head. And we're going to shift forward into plank pose, bringing our shoulders over our wrists, and place our knees down, tabletop position. Bring our hands under our shoulders, knees under our hips, coming through a couple rounds of cat-cows. Inhaling, opening the chest, feeling as the hands and the shins press against the mat. And we'll meet in a cat pose, so rounding the back, separating the scapulas, which are those two wing bones in the upper back, making the upper back as big as possible. And we're going to lengthen the legs back, coming into a plank pose without losing the cat back. Staying here. And shift back, downward facing dog. Coming back through plank. Coming onto the edge of the right foot, placing the weight on the right hand, coming into side plank, lifting the left arm up, maybe stacking the feet, or maybe the feet are one in front of the other, or a supported side plank with one foot in front of the hip. Pushing the hips up, pressing the mat with the hand to lift a little higher, and place the left hand down, plank pose. Coming through chaturanga, holding the chaturanga, so you might not go as low as you usually do. because you're going to hold it where you can reach and push yourself back up. Downward facing dog. And do this on the other side. Shifting once again, plank pose. Bringing the weight towards the left hand. Coming onto the edge of the left foot, side plank. Moving slowly, passing the weight to what's grounded on the mat with awareness. Pushing the hips up, stacking the hips, making sure the right hip is over the left. And whatever version of side plank you're in, you're lifting the hips up towards the ceiling. One more breath. And lower the right hand down, plank pose. Half chaturanga into push-up. Elbows tucked in, hold wherever you are. And lift back up, downward facing dog. One more time, shift forward. Lower halfway into your into your chaturanga, hold. And lower all the way down onto your belly. Placing your hands next to your chest, tucking the elbows in. Make sure that they're not out to the side. You're going to lift the chest up, lifting the heart, coming into baby cobra. Breathe. And lower. Inhale one more time. Lift through the crown of the head, lifting the heart. And now lift the hands without letting the torso fall down. Feeling the upper back strength to lift the chest. And lower down. One more time. Inhale, lift up, pressing through the hands. You're going to lift the legs up and hold here. Keeping the support with the hands. Crown of the head lengthens. The glutes are soft, so you're not crunching the low back. Hold here. And release down. Last time. Working all those back muscles. Inhale. Lift through the crown of the head. Lift the legs and lift the hands. Elbows lift back. Shoulders roll back. Hold. And release down. Placing your toes onto the mat, either keeping the knees on the mat or not, coming through a reverse chaturanga all the way into plank pose. And downward facing dog. Separating your feet a little wider than hip width. Walking your hands back towards your feet. Grabbing opposite elbows. Feel as the weight shifts towards the feet. And grabbing opposite elbows, letting the whole torso release down. Bring the awareness towards your feet and feel where the weight of the body are. Slowly trying to bring the weight of the body as equal to both feet and throughout the feet. So there's no more weight on the heel or the toes. And slowly release down. Release the arms one vertebrae at a time. Opening the upper back. Rounding slowly and gently. Coming all the way up. The last thing that lifts is the head. Shoulders roll back. And walk towards the front of the mat. Inhale, chair pose. Either feet hip width apart for a steadier, more stable grounding, or feet together. Hold here and interlace your hands behind you, opening the arms, lengthening the arms, opening the shoulders. Hold. And fold forward, keeping the hands as they are, letting the hands hang overhead. Bending the knees as much as you need, maybe even resting the torso on the thighs. And release the hands down next to the feet. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. On the exhale, forward fold. coming all the way up to standing. Hands in front of the heart. Staying here for a second, maybe closing your eyes. Letting yourself fully arrive for today's class. Feeling the weight under your feet as it might shift almost as in a wave sort of rhythm from one foot to the other. And gently blinking your eyes open, bringing your hands next to your torso. Inhale, arms up. On the exhale, hands in front of the heart. 2 more. Inhale, arms up. On the exhale, hands in front of the heart. Last one. Inhale, arms up. Bringing the hands in front of the heart, closing your eyes. Gently setting an intention to yourself to stay present by steadying the breath and grounding the body. Moving gently and slowly with intention, following the breath. And release the arms next to the torso, blinking the eyes open. Inhale, arms up. On the exhale, hinge forward, reaching for the mat. Fold forward. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Crown of the head reaches forward. Exhale, forward fold. Grounding through the feet. Inhale, lengthen the torso all the way up, back to standing. Hands in front of the heart. 2 more. Inhale, arms up. On the exhale, hinge forward. Swan dive down, heart leads down. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. On the exhale, fold forward and come all the way up, feeling as the legs root down to come all the way up. And hands in front of the heart. Last one. Inhale, arms up. On the exhale, hinge forward, heart open. Looking for the floor with both hands. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, reaching the crown of the head forward. Exhale, forward fold, and come all the way up to standing. Hands in front of the heart. 1 Surya Namaskar A. Feel free to do it at your own pace. Inhale, arms up. On the exhale, hinge forward, reaching for the mat with both hands. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. On the exhale, plant the hands next to the feet. Step or float back through your vinyasa. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 5 full rounds of breath here as you reach the sits bones up. Lengthening through the legs and maybe reaching the heels down. Bend your knees, look forward, step or float towards the front of the mat. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. On the exhale, fold forward, coming all the way up to standing. Hands in front of the heart. Half Surya Namaskar A, meeting in down dog. Inhale, arms up. On the exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. On the exhale, step or float back through your vinyasa. Meeting in downward facing dog. Placing both knees down onto the mat, coming into a tabletop position. Hands under the shoulders, knees hip width apart. Finding a neutral spine. To really keep that neutral spine, find a slight engagement of the core, belly button pulling in and up. Lengthening the right leg back, left arm next to the ear. Trying for nothing to change when you lengthen the arm and the leg. The spine remains neutral. And maybe lift the right leg up. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2. And in the last second, you're going to place the left hand down, bringing the right leg out to the side. Hold here, foot as high as you can. Maybe the knee is bent. That's fine. But hold the leg high and release down. Releasing the foot in the same line as the left knee. Bringing the torso up. Walking the right hand along the right leg, lengthening the left side of the body. Feeling stable through all the transitions and poses, focusing on the contact with the ground to find stability. And come all the way back up. Placing both hands in front of you with stability, taking it at your own pace. We're going to try to come from here directly into a three-legged down dog. Placing the back toes down, lengthening the back leg, reaching the right leg up towards the ceiling, opening the hip, bending the knee. Releasing that front right hip and closing it off, bringing the right knee into the nose, placing the foot between your hands. Lengthening through the crown of the head, reaching the heart forward, and come all the way back up, crescent lunge. Lengthening through the crown of the head, same sort of engagement of the ribs. Imagine you have a corset that doesn't let the ribs open towards the front. And opening, twisting towards the right, reaching the right arm back, left arm forward. Inhale, and on the exhale, lower the left hand down, reaching the right arm up, keeping the twist, reaching the right hip back to keep the hips level. Inhale, and reach the right arm down, go through your vinyasa. Feel free to skip them whenever you've had enough. Other side. Coming back through tabletop position. Gently coming onto your knees, bringing your hands under your shoulders. Lengthening the left leg back this time. Reaching the right arm forward. Keeping the torso neutral, belly button scoops in and up. And lift the left leg up. Try not to crunch the low back when you lift. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, lowering the right hand down, keeping the left leg lifted, bringing the left leg out to the side, hold the leg high up. It's okay if you don't have the opening in the back of the leg and you have to bend it, but keep it high, hold, and release down. Placing the foot in the same level as the right knee, lifting the torso up. Walking the left hand along the left leg, reaching the right arm towards the left, lengthening the whole side body, maybe looking up. And coming back through center, placing both hands in front of you, placing the back toes down, taking it directly, slowly, and with intention into a three-legged down dog. Opening the hip, bending the knee, reaching the left heel towards the left glute. And gently closing it off, bringing the left knee into the nose, placing the foot as smoothly as possible between your hands. Reaching both arms up, crescent lunge. Bending both knees to really find the stability of rooting down through the feet to lift the torso up. Arms are long. And twist open towards the left as you reach the left arm back, right arm forward. Hold. Lowering the right hand down, reaching the left arm up, maybe looking up. And lower the left hand down, step it back through your flow. From down dog, shift forward into plank pose. Lowering halfway, keep holding in your chaturanga. That might be a little higher than usual because you're going to hold it. And continue all the way down, belly down onto the mat. Interlacing your fingers behind you. Inhale, lift the heart up. Lift through the crown of the head. Shoulders roll back. Find length through the crown of the head. And lower down. Next time we're going to lift everything up. Inhale, lifting the legs, lifting the chest, rolling the shoulders back, trying to lengthen the arms completely to open the front of the chest even deeper. Breathe. And release down. Letting go of the hands. We're going to roll onto your right side. I'm going to roll to my left so you guys can see me. And you may place your hand on your head for support. You can bend your bottom leg to find stability. And you're going to bring the right heel towards the right glute to open the right quad. Feeling stable, you might have to feel that little engagement in the low ribs so you don't feel wobbly. And release the right leg, coming onto the other side. Again, bending the bottom leg just slightly to find stability. A slight engagement of the core. And bring the right heel towards your glute, opening that quad. And coming back through center, bringing both heels into your glutes, grabbing the feet. I like to grab them from the outside so you help your legs not splurge out. And you're going to begin to push the feet against the hand as the chest lifts, the shoulders roll back, and the knees lift off the mat as well. The legs are engaged, lifting the legs off of the mat. The glutes are soft, so you're not crunching the low back. Breathe. And release down. Placing your hands next to your chest, pushing yourself back, child's pose. Through an active child's pose, as we started feeling the broadening of the upper back, the forearms are lifted towards the front of the mat, and glutes are actively reaching towards the heels. Placing the toes onto the mat, shifting the hips up, downward facing dog. Inhale, and on the exhale, bend the knees, look forward, step or hop towards the front of the mat. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. On the exhale, fold forward, coming all the way up to standing. Hands in front of the heart. Inhale, Utkatasana chair pose. Reaching the sits bones down. Knees shifting back, and heart is lengthening up. Hold here for 3 more rounds of breath. Feeling as the quads engage, you feel more rooted to the ground. And on the next exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. On the exhale, plant the hands next to the feet, step or hop back through your vinyasa. Meeting in downward facing dog. Bringing the right knee into the nose, stepping the foot between your hands. Lowering the back foot at a 45-degree angle, warrior one. Reaching the arms up, both hips want to face forward. And lower the hands down. Step the right foot back, plank, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Other side, stepping the left foot as smoothly as possible between your hands. Back heel down, warrior one on the left side. Lifting the right hip to be at the same height as the left. Inhale and lower down. Step back, plank pose. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 5 full rounds of breath in your down dog. Maybe closing your eyes as you steady your breath, finding the contact with the ground. Trying to stay still through your down dog, not fidget and wiggle, which supports a still mind. And on the next exhale, bend the knees, look forward, step or hop towards the front of the mat. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. On the exhale, forward fold. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Arms next to the ears, dropping the hips. Inhale. And lengthen the legs, bringing the hands in front of the heart. Out into warrior two. This is one of the longest stances, so really find that your feet are not too, they're quite wide apart. So as you bend the knee doesn't go in front of the ankle. Arms are long. Hold here. Reaching forward, bringing the right arm inside of the right leg, left arm next to the ear. If this is too much, you can place a forearm. But reaching the crown of the head forward, right hip back so you're not popping it out to the side. Hold. And come back through center, warrior two. Lengthening the front leg, closing the right foot, warrior two on the left side, opening the arms along the legs. Making sure the shoulders are over the hips, as if when we shift forward, we're losing the grounding. So we're not stacked. It's harder on our bodies. Shoulders over the hips, hold. And reaching the left arm forward, torso's long, lower the left arm down, right arm next to the ear. If it's too much, place the left hand on the forearm on the thigh. Left hip reaches back, belly button in and up, hold. And warrior two, once again, hold here. Lengthening the left leg, closing the left foot. We're gonna add on to this. Opening the right foot, warrior two. Reaching the right knee to be over the ankle and the thigh as parallel to the mat as you can. Looking forward. Lengthening the front leg. We're going to bring the back leg just a tad bit closer so we can really lengthen through the spine and reach the right arm down, left arm up. Pushing the hand against the leg to open a little deeper. Maybe looking up. And we're going to shift the weight towards the right foot, coming into Ardha Chandrasana. As we come into this balancing pose, do it with control. Feel as the weight begins to shift. Slowly lowering the right hand around 6 inches out from the right pinky. Imagine you are also standing on the left foot, so that left leg is active, pushing through the heel, and the whole torso is facing out to the left. Inhale, and slowly with that same control, lower the left leg into warrior two. Inhale, and lengthen the front leg. Closing the right foot, opening the left. Other side, opening into warrior two on the left side. Imagine the tips of those scapulas drawing down. So drawing down the back. Having a flat back, hold here. And lengthen the front leg, bringing the back leg a little closer. Lengthening through the crown of the head. As you lengthen, make sure your torso is already facing the side of the mat. Lengthen, the quad is lifting to help ground. And reach the left hand down as you reach your right arm up. Hold. Maybe looking up if it feels right on the neck. And slowly shifting the weight towards the left foot, shifting Forward with control, taking your time, coming into your balancing left Ardha Chandrasana. Opening through the chest, pushing through the heel. Imagine you are standing on that right leg as well. Maybe bending that standing leg for more support, more grounding. And slowly with that same control, bending the standing leg, lowering the back leg. Warrior two. Lengthen the front leg, bringing both feet parallel to each other. Again, warrior two on the right side. Opening the arms, bending the front leg. Holding here. Making sure your arms are in a straight line. And finding extended side angle, either forearm on the thigh, right arm inside as you lengthen through the crown of the head. Reaching the left arm forward. Palm of the hand is facing down. Now from here, Trikonasana, lengthening the front leg. Maybe you have to readjust the back leg a little to be a little closer. Opening the chest, maybe looking up. Shifting the weight towards the front foot, coming into your Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. With control, slowly shifting the weight towards the right foot. Wrapping the left arm behind. Hold. And now as you wrap the arm behind, with the right hand, you can look for the back foot. Finding this funky bind, only if you feel stable. So first find the stability through the balance, and then have a little bit of fun with this binding pose. So the left arm is wrapped around, the right arm is reaching for the flying leg. Slowly, with control, come back through Ardha Chandrasana, lengthening the left arm, coming back through warrior two, lengthening the front leg. Closing the right foot. The fun thing of doing this through YouTube is that you can put pause and take all the time you need to get into these funky poses. Warrior two on the other side. Opening your arms along the legs. Bending into that left leg. Finding the stability from here. We're building onto our warrior two. So find first your stability here. And now coming into your extended side angle. Same version as you did on the other side. Imagine you want to close the armpit as the arm extends forward. And now lengthen the left leg, Trikonasana, pushing the left hand against the left leg to open the chest a little deeper. Reaching the right arm up. And slowly coming into your Ardha Chandrasana, half moon, shifting the weight towards the left foot. Lifting the right leg. Pushing through the heel, first finding your stability here. And you might just want to stay here to feel the grounding through the toes, through the heel. Or you might want to wrap the right arm around, opening the shoulder, maybe placing the fingertips inside of the thigh. And if you want to take it that step further, you bend the flying leg, looking for the foot with the left hand. Coming into this funky bind. And slowly let it go. Placing the left hand down, coming through your Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Warrior two. Lengthen the front leg, bringing both feet parallel to each other. Stepping the feet together. Coming towards the front of the mat, Tadasana. Stepping the left foot back for pyramid. So both feet are facing forward, almost as if you were giving a really long step. Both hips are facing forward. Hands in the low back, opening the heart. And lower, leading the heart down. Reaching the heart towards the left leg, making sure the quads are lifting. As the legs engage, more grounding you'll find. And keeping the right hand where it is. If you don't reach for the mat, you can either have a block or place the hand on the shin without pushing the shin too deep. And lift the left arm up towards the ceiling. Opening the chest towards the left. Twisted Trikonasana. And lower the left hand down. Lifting with a long, strong back all the way up to standing. Stepping the right foot to meet the left. Sorry, I think I did it the opposite legs, but now we'll do the other side. Stepping the other foot back for pyramid pose. Both hip bones are facing forward. I like to have my feet hip width apart for more stability. Finding grounding through the feet, hands in the low back, and the heart leads down towards the right leg. Right hip pulls back, keeping the hips squared. Reaching the heart towards the right leg. And slowly lengthening through the crown of the head, pressing the left hand wherever it is, reaching the right arm up. Opening the chest towards the right side. And slowly lower down, finding a long back coming all the way up to standing, stepping the back foot to meet the front. We're going to come through a couple more balancing poses. Balancing poses can seem ungrounding, but once we begin to do them in a mindful way, they can be very grounding as the little support that we have with the ground becomes very strong. So instead of just giving it for granted that we have both feet on the ground, we begin to really pay attention to that small focus that's touching the ground. So we're going to come through some balancing poses. If you fall out of it, no worries, just have fun with it. But try to move mindfully and create that grounding through the transitions. So we're going to shift the weight towards the right leg. Lifting the left leg, we're going to cross the left thigh over the right as we bend the right leg. We might just stay here depending on how open we are in our outer hips, or we might reach the left foot behind for a double bind. The deeper we sit in it, the easier it's going to be to do the double bind. And then we're going to reach the left arm under, right arm over. Maybe a single bind by pressing the backs of the hands together, or maybe a double bind by pressing the palms of the hands together. Elbows reaching up, feel the grounding, the toes are wrinkling the mat. And with control, you're going to release the arms, slowly lift the left leg off. Don't place it on the mat, bringing the left knee into the chest. Coming into dancer's pose, taking the left foot back, grabbing through the outer part of the foot. The foot's going to press against the hand as the heart opens and maybe lowers, but because of the consequence of pressing against the mat, don't lower the torso too much because of the consequence of pressing against the hand. Inhale and release down. So in dancers, what you don't want to do is lower the torso before you open the heart. Many people tend to lower it instead of open, and because it opens, it lowers. So other side. Shifting the weight towards the left foot. Taking the right leg over the left thigh, maybe coming into your double bind, an eagle pose. Sitting into it, bringing the right arm under, left arm over, finding either a single bind, pressing the backs of the hands together, or palms of the hands together, double bind, lifting the elbows, broadening the upper back. Breathe. Feel as you wrinkle the mat. And slowly release the hands, bringing the knee into the chest. Those toes should be super active. And slowly taking it back into dancer's pose, grabbing the edge of the right foot as the foot presses against the hand. The leg lifts, and maybe the torso lowers slightly. Keeping the leg hip width apart, not splurging out to the side. And release, bringing both feet towards the front of the mat. Inhale, arms up. On the exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. On the exhale, step or float back through your plank or directly into down dog. That's the last vinyasa, I promise. Bringing the right shin towards the front of the mat, opening the right hip, pigeon pose. Lengthening the left leg back. Lifting the heart before you lower. The tailbone reaches down. We're not crunching the low back. Maybe the hands walk a little farther out. And slowly lower down, making sure both hip bones are facing forward. And release. Melting onto the ground, not resisting. Trying to feel how the ground props you up and holds you. And slowly pushing yourself up. Swinging the back leg forward. We're going to come into double pigeon pose, making sure that we're pretty particular on how we stack our legs. So making sure the heel is directly over the knee directly over the heel. The feet are flexed. If doing this makes us feel super tight and crunched up, what we're going to do is the bottom leg, so the right leg, we're going to plant the foot on the mat and make a figure 4 like this, finding a long spine. If you're taking the double pigeon, you can either stay here, you can fold forward. Again, melting over your legs. Trying not to resist the opening, but be present with it. And on the exhale, feel as the ground holds you. Feel the contact with your mat. And pushing yourself back up. If you're already in standing, stay there. We're going to come into a brief down dog just to do the other side. So crossing your legs, finding your way into your down dog. Bringing the left shin forward into pigeon pose. As you open the hip, both hip bones are facing forward. So what that means is that we don't come on the left hip and let the right hip open to the side. It's nice to have a pillow or a block to help you keep both hips squared. And from here, lengthening the heart, lengthening the spine. And fold forward. Surrendering into this opening. And slowly pushing yourself back up, swinging the right leg forward, stacking the right leg over the left. If you're taking the other version of the hip opening, you're going to place the bottom leg, so the left leg, onto the left foot onto the mat as you lengthen through the spine, opening the right hip. If you're doing the double pigeon, making sure the knee is over the heel, heel over the knee, and fold forward. Gently coming back through center, pushing yourself back up. Releasing the legs, both legs forward. You're going to bring the right leg inside of the left, opening the knee out to the side. Shifting the torso towards the left side, fold forward. Heart reaches towards your foot, so really finding the length. And coming all the way back up. Now you're going to take the right knee over the left, bringing the left leg if you can. If not, you can do half Gomukhasana if it feels better. If not, you're going to bring the bottom leg so the heel's outside of the right glute. And fold forward. Lots of outer hip openers. And gently lift all the way back up, lengthening both legs forward. This time bringing the left foot inside of the right leg. Right foot's looking up, shifting the torso towards the right foot and lower towards the right leg. And coming back up, taking the left leg over the right, coming into your version of Gomukhasana. Either heels towards the outer sides of the hips and fold forward. And coming all the way back up, we're going to gently find our way onto our backs. Bringing our feet into our glutes, heels under the knees, arms next to the torso. Inhale, bridge pose, lifting the hips up, interlacing your hands under, pushing the hips up towards the ceiling and pressing the heart towards the roof of the mouth. Breathe. And in the next exhale, gently lower down. We're going to lift one more time. Feel free to do full wheel if that's in your practice. If not, I'm going to take another bridge pose. Inhale, lifting the hips up, pushing through the heels to lift a little higher. Heart reaches towards the roof of the mouth and hold, breathing deeply. Next exhale, release down, bringing both knees into the chest, hugging the knees in, massaging the low back from side to to side. And when you're ready, opening your arms in a T, letting the knees fall over to the right as you look towards the left. And gently coming back through center, letting the knees fall towards the other side, looking over towards the right. And coming back through center. Giving yourself a big, big, tight hug. Inhale through the nose. And sigh it all out through the mouth. 2 more times. Inhale through the nose. On the next exhale, sigh it out and release the legs forward. Palms of the hands facing up, finding your way into Shavasana. As you feel your body relax a little deeper into the ground, feeling your body a little heavier, almost as if you were becoming one with the ground. Slowly releasing any control, surrendering completely into Shavasana. Feel free to stay here as long as you can. Thank you for joining. Namaste.